Alright, hey everyone, good afternoon. Hope your day is going well so far. Today we're going to talk about synthetic division. So if you remember yesterday, we talked about long division, like polynomial long division. Today we're going to find a quicker way to divide two polynomials. There's going to be a caveat, so there has to be a condition that is met before we use synthetic division. But if that caveat or that condition is met, then you'll see that it's really easy. And you might remember this from Algebra 2. If not, that's okay. We're gonna go through it today. Okay, for you now, just this is a normal like polynomial long division problem. So do it the way that we did it yesterday, and then we're gonna see how to do it via synthetic division. Okay, so I'll give you another minute to do that, and then we will discuss. All right, so let me pause you here. I'm gonna scroll up to the solution. All right, here it is. All right, so the quotient ended up being x squared minus 3. The remainder is 7. And note that there's other ways you can write this answer. So this question didn't actually specify how they want the answer, so we can actually do it in one of three ways. But anyways, the quotient is x squared minus 3, and the remainder is 7. Do we have any volunteers to go through this for us? So like just walk us through the process here. All right, we'll go to Max.
Yeah. So essentially we start out, we just put it into the long division form, and then we're seeing what we can multiply the first term, so x on the left side by to get x cubed, and that's going to be x squared. So we just distribute that x squared into the x plus 2, and then we subtract that from the I always confuse divisor and dividend. Anyways, then we subtract and then we have 0x squared, and we bring down the negative 3x. And then because we have 0x squared, we're basically just multiplying everything on x plus 2 times 0. And then we're just going to basically just subtract nothing, which then gives us negative 3x. We bring down the plus 1, and then we're multiplying x plus 2, or we're distributing negative 3 to x plus 2, which gives us x plus 2 minus 3 on the top. And we subtract negative 3x minus 6, and we get a remainder 7, and that's not divisible.
All right, very nice. Thank you for that. So yeah, the quotient is x squared minus 3, and the remainder is 7. The two other ways you can write this answer is, via the division algorithm from yesterday. So that's x cubed plus 2x squared minus 3x plus 1, the dividend, and that equals x plus 2, the divisor, times the quotient, x squared minus 3, plus 7, which is the remainder. We actually didn't see this method of writing the answer yesterday, but yeah, it's one way to write it. The other way we saw yesterday was x squared minus 3 plus 7 over x plus 2, right? So this is the quotient, and then plus 7 over x plus 2. And I, uh, make the comparison to like 5 divided by 3. So like 1 is the quotient for that problem, 2 is the remainder, and then 3 is the divisor. So here in this case, x squared minus 3 is the quotient, 7 is the remainder, and then you divide that by the divisor. Okay, it's like 1 and 2/3. All right, I'll give you a sec to copy that, and then from there we'll move on to our topic for today, which again is synthetic division. Okay, does anyone still need to copy this? You can let me know in the chat or speak up. All right, if not, then I'll move on. So, all right, thanks, Lou. From here, I'll just give you an overview of the rest of the lesson. So first, we're going to give a definition of synthetic division. You can see here, and then an example of the process of synthetic division, one follow-up question, and then some practice questions. Okay, all right, so here's the definition. All right, can I get a volunteer to read this, please?
The definition of synthetic division is a method of polynomial divisions that only uses the coefficients of terms. Note, it only works when the divisor is in x minus c form. C can be positive or negative. In the do now, for example, c equals -2 because x plus 2 equals x minus -2.
All right, thank you for that. So yeah, it's another method of polynomial long division that involves the coefficient of terms. So it's just a shorthand way. So essentially we're doing the same thing, except this time, we're only writing the coefficients, and for that it saves time. And yeah, only works. This is the this is the caveat or the condition that I was talking about earlier. So the divisor has to be in x minus c form. And yeah, for the do now it was x plus 2, so we had to write that as x minus -2. So for example, if the divisor was x squared plus 2, we would not be able to use synthetic division. Okay. All right, so just copy that, and then we will see how to do this via an example. All right, does anyone still need to copy the definition here? All right. Okay, so I'm going to scroll up then. So let me just follow up with this example here. Okay, so we have x cubed plus 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. Divide that by x plus 2. This is the same problem as the do now, except this time we're going to use synthetic division. So first thing I'm going to do is rewrite x plus 2 as x minus -2, right? So it has to be in the form of x minus c, right? So like as you see here in the definition, or not the definition, rather the, what happened there? Sorry about that. The note that I provided right there. So x minus c is the form that we're going to write it in. So it's x minus -2. So -2 is the number that we write, right? That's the divisor, okay, so to speak. And then here we write the coefficients of the dividend, or p of x. So that's going to be 1, 2, -3, and 1. Okay, so 1, 2, -3, and 1. All right, and here are the steps. So I want you to copy this down in your notes also. This is important. So step 1 is bring down the first coefficient from the first to the third row. Okay. By row, rows are horizontal in mathematics. So like this is row 1, this is row 2, this is row 3. columns are vertical. But yeah, so bring down the first coefficient from the first to the third row. That's always a given, so you just bring down the first number. And then step 2 is we're going to multiply by c, which in this case is -2, and place the product in the next column in the second row. So next column in the second row, that just means right over here. Okay, so -2 times 1 is -2. We place that right here, and that's where we're going to add. So again, we do -2 times 1, which is -2, and then step 3 is you add. So you add that column and place that in the third row, which is the last row. So 2 plus -2 is 0. And then from there we just repeat until we reach the last column. Okay, so this is going to be followed by -2 times 0, which is 0. And then we add that again, so -3 plus 0 is -3. And then you have -2 times -3, which is 6. And then you're going to add that, which is 7. Okay. So 1, 0, -3, 7. These are the coefficients of the quotient. Okay. Now, we know from the do now, right, the answer is going to be x squared minus 3 and 7. And you can get that from here, but I'll go into more detail as to how you know that in the follow-up question that I'll display next. Okay, so again, the answer is x squared minus 3, and as you can see, they're the same coefficients, right? So we start off here, 1x squared plus 0x minus 3, and then the last number is 7. Okay, so x squared plus 0x minus 3 plus 7. Okay, last number is the remainder. Okay, so here's the answer. Quotient is x squared minus 3, remainder is 7. All right, if this doesn't make sense, or it seems, of course it's normal for this to not be familiar, right? If you haven't seen it before, but once you get it, once you practice it a few times, it'll be automatic, right? You just bring the first number down, you multiply, add, multiply, add. Okay, but yeah, we'll get more practice with this in the last few minutes of class. Okay, does anyone still need to copy any of this? Okay, all right, I'm going to move on then. All right, follow-up question. How do we know the exponents of the terms? And ignore this, that's just a reminder to myself to write this on the board if we're in class. So the exponents of the terms is, you always start off with 1 less than the dividend, right? 1 less than the thing you're dividing. Okay, so in this case it's x cubed, right? So the quotient, right, since synthetic division always involves like x minus c, right? X, it can't be like x squared or x to the third power or any other power, right? It has to be a linear term that we're dividing by. The quotient has to be 1 degree less than the dividend. In this case, it's x to the third, so the quotient has to be x squared, right? So I write that here. So find the degree of the first term of the quotient by the initial division of the dividend by divisor. That's right, by the divisor, and go from there. So it's always 1 degree less than the dividend for synthetic division, because you're always dividing by x minus c. Right. So again, we had x cubed, divide that by x minus c, right? In that case, it was x plus 2. So you do x cubed, divide that by x. That's how we know that the quotient is x squared. And then you go 0x minus 3 plus 7. Okay. All right, so make sure you have that in your notes as well. And then from there, we'll move on to the group work questions. If you still need to copy this, please type in the chat right now or speak up. All right, I'm gonna move on then. All right, last thing we're gonna do, we have about 5-6 minutes left, so we're going to, all right, here are the questions that I want you to practice. This. Okay, so first question is use synthetic division to divide 2x cubed minus 7x squared plus 5. I want you to divide that by x minus 3. And then next is another polynomial, divide that by x minus 3. And then lastly, you have 3x to the fourth minus 8x squared minus 11x plus 1. Divide that by x minus 2. Okay, so take, say like 2 minutes, so you can solve 1 or 2 questions, and then we'll discuss. Okay, I'm going to pause you here. I know that wasn't too much time, but just want to go over the questions, the solutions, I mean. So the first one, we had 2x to the third minus 7x squared plus 5. One thing that you have to note is here we do need to have a placeholder for 0x, right? Here there's no linear term, right? So I'm going to write in 0x. And from there I'm going to write my coefficients. So we have 2, -7, 0, 5. And then the divisor is x minus 3, so c is 3, right? So first thing I'm going to do is bring down the 2. You get 2, and then 3 times 2 is 6. Add -7 and 6, you get -1. Then 3 times -1 is -3. Add that, you get -3. Then lastly, 3 times -3 is -9. And then that'll be -4. Okay. And here, yeah, it'll be, the quotient is going to be 2x squared minus x minus 3. Okay, so again, we always like start off 1 degree less than the dividend. Okay, so 2x, so it would be x squared, right? So in this case, 2x squared minus x minus 3. The last number is the remainder, which is -4. All right, give me a sec to copy that, and then we'll move on. All right, I'm gonna move on. I'll post this on Google Classroom, by the way, for you to refer to in case we can't catch everything. But second question, we had 5x cubed minus 2x squared plus x minus 10. Divide that by x minus 3. Here the coefficients are 5, negative 2, 1, and negative 10. So write that there, and then 3 is our c value. So bring down the 5, you get 3 times 5 in the next row. The next column. And then negative 2 plus 15 is 13. 3 times 13 is 39. Add that, you get 40. 3 times 40 is 120, and you get 110. So the quotient is 5x squared, right, because x to the third, and then 1 degree less than that is x squared. So 5x squared plus 13x plus 40, remainder 110. All right, lastly, we have 3x to the fourth minus 8x squared minus 11x plus 1. Divide that by x minus 2. In this, I'm going to fill in 0x cubed as a placeholder. So we get 3, 0, negative 8, negative 11, 1 as our coefficients. 2 is the c value. Bring down the 3. You get 2 times 3. In the next column, 0, 0 plus 6 is 6. Then 2 times 6 is 12. Negative 8 plus 12 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Add that, you get negative 3. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. You get negative 5. All right, so therefore our quotient is going to be 3x cubed plus 6x squared plus 4x minus 3. Remainder is negative 5. Okay. All right, while you finish copying that, let me close with announcements. One, there is SGI today, per usual, 2:47. And second is a reminder that our next quiz is going to be next Friday. So that's the 12th. I'll send out the topics list over the weekend, and I'll let you know about the practice quiz. I haven't made it yet, so I gotta see if Alex has enough questions to make a practice quiz. Okay. All right, but yeah, if you have no further questions, you're done copying this, you are free to go, and I'll see you all on Monday. All right, have a great week.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
All right, thank you too.
Have a nice week.
Thanks, you too.
Mr. Liang,
Yeah.
will there be a recording for this? Because I kind of didn't understand something in like the beginning of the lesson, but there will be a recording for it, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna post it after it. Soon, within like the next hour, once this finishes downloading.
All right, and also the homeworks that I emailed you, could you grade them? Because I'm trying to appeal for some classes, right? And they're gonna be looking at like this, like not this semester, but the current grade as well as last semester's.